So I'm glad you brought up the environmental impacts, because
Hmm.
this was my next question in thinking about the commercial versus the public. I feel like there's a perception that when research is being done, credible, legitimate, in the public interest research, that whatever fossil fuels or other pollutants that are emitted in the process of space travel is sort of tolerated in the name of advancing science that will ultimately be better for the planet and for all of us who live on it. In the commercial space, it feels like there is very deep skepticism that they're doing
Hmm.
anything other than what all industries have done, which is potentially harm the environment without any real impact to the benefit for the public, but maybe for a few individuals.
Hmm.
How do you, as a science somebody who obsesses over the science of these things, how do
Hmm.
you balance the potential impacts to the environment versus the benefits? And this, you can take this from both the commercial and from, the public investment, because these do require humongous amounts of fuel, and
Yes.
nobody can argue that it is definitely a significant contributor to pollution if we were to actually see a significant increase in space tourism, in space travel, even in traditional space exploration. How do you
Hmm.
think about where that break even point is between how much we're willing to burn and, what the benefit we get from that is?
Hmm. Well, I would say that from the science perspective, the number of science missions that launch each year is so tiny compared to the number of communication satellites or military satellites that are launched every year. We launch lots of stuff into space, and the vast majority of it is not about science. It's about something that is practical to us or makes money. So, you got like satellite internet and satellite radio, and it's all of these different kinds of technologies that are for profit or for basic uh, needs of people here on Earth, whether that's governments or consumers or whatever. Scientific missions are a tiny drop in the bucket, so I don't think that that's something to be concerned about. I wouldn't focus on that. I would say that yes, the return on investment for the public, the benefit to the public of something like, yeah, launching tons of communication satellites, it's there. You want to be able to go out and take out your smartphone and look at a map and have it accurately tell you where you're going. That all relies on satellites. So we do need to, like, people need these things being launched. If you cut out all launches of science missions, that wouldn't really change anything significantly. I think what we're seeing with tourism is similar to what people have started to notice about celebrities flying everywhere in private jets. Where it's like the emissions from that is so much bigger than the emissions that an ordinary person contributes through their entire year of air travel. And I think people have kind of caught on to that and are unimpressed that a small number of people are just jetting around, and the rest of us are being kind of told, like, oh well, make sure you throw your can in the recycling, or else you're ruining the environment. So I think the kind of laying of blame is a little bit uneven, and I think you could say the same thing with scientific versus tourist kind of space launches.